For today's video, we wanted to do something a little bit more educational, and we wanted to show you guys how to properly disassemble, clean, and reassemble your bolt carrier for your AR-15. In the video you see here that I'm taking out the firing pin retainer, that pretty much holds the bolt carrier in place, and that's the first thing you're going to want to remove. When the firing pin comes out, take out the cam pin. As I'm doing this, even if you don't have the proper tools or like a cleaning kit, firing pin works as a great tool itself. And then remove the bolt. As you can see, this bolt carrier is pretty dirty. Has some goat juice on there, but we put it to the test with some solvent, and solvent worked out pretty good. When you got the solvent sprayed on there, you want to let it sit for a few minutes. After it sits, then you can go ahead and start brushing away. For all those hard to reach areas, you can grab small Q-tips, like bathroom Q-tips that you keep in your house. Those work great for those hard to reach areas, and you just get in there with the Q-tip and it'll pull it right out. The firing pin wasn't really too dirty, so after spraying some solvent in there, it took it all right off. You just give it a wipe with a rag and that's it. The charging handle can get pretty dirty and can get a lot of residue buildup on there. Give it a nice thin film of oil to make sure that the action is silky smooth. You can see here I'm using a copper bristled brush. That bolt itself is where all the carbons will stick, because that's where all the action is happening, especially where I'm brushing right now. That spot can get pretty dirty, and it's very important that you get that cleaned up. So the harder bristles are going to really help you and get all that nasty carbon buildup off of the bolt. Now, what's really good about this upper receiver is that on the internals, it's not black. The FDE upper receiver was showing me where the carbon buildup was, and then you just spray some solvent in there. It's pretty easy to clean, you know, if you have the right tools. Like, these brushes are really good. They're kind of like angled, so like you can get into the receiver and just brush everything off. The gas tube will be dirty, but you don't need to stress yourself out to try and get that exposed gas tube so clean. You can just give it a quick little brush, then you're good to go. And here, now that I've got everything pretty much dry, I wiped off all the solvent. Now I'm gonna reassemble the bolt carrier. It goes back in the same way you took it apart. Right here, you just want to make sure that the extractor of the bolt is facing the notches for the forward assist are on the same side. You don't want to put it in the opposite direction because the cam pin won't fit. The cam pin should just slide right in like you see right here, and then you just give it a twist to expose the hole for the firing pin to feed through all the way. And then the firing retainer pin will go right back into place. The bolt is pretty smooth. You know, you can test it just by giving it a flick from the rear position. It'll flick to the forward position, and that's pretty much a good sign that the bolt carrier is good. And then when you're reinstalling the charging handle, just make sure that those teeth that I just pointed at lock into place. You'll see the cuts and the grooves for the charging handle to fit into place where it doesn't fall out. When you're installing the bolt carrier back in, just make sure that it's in the forward position, where the cam pin is in the forward position as well. And then you just slide it back in, and then you're good to go.